Mr. Mayor, it's time.
I'd like to call this special meeting, public hearing to order of July 10th, 2024 at 4:50 PM. Roll call, please.
Mayor Donald Hewish,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tempore Margaret Morales,
Present.
Councilmember Jose Montaño,
Here.
Councilmember Dania Acosta,
Present.
Councilmember Ray Shelton,
Present.
Councilmember Michael Valdenegro,
Present.
Councilmember Richard Acosta,
Present.
City Manager Ana Urquijo.
Can't hear you, Anna.
City Manager Ana Urquijo. She is connected, Mr. Mayor.
Present.
City Attorney Tina Benucci,
Present.
City Treasurer Luis Pedrosa.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item number 3, persons wishing to address the council in writing or verbally on any item not on the agenda. Do we have any for this meeting?
No, we do not, Mr. Mayor.
Item number 4, discussion on public hearing. Item A, the purpose of the public hearing is to allow public participation regarding the CDBG consolidated plan for fiscal years 2024 through 2028 and annual action plan for fiscal year 2024. Ms. Gonzalez, do you have anything you'd like to share with us? Please.
So the city of Douglas is a city BG entitlement community. One of the requirements of the city CDBG grant is that a consolidated plan for every 5-year cycle is prepared, approved, and presented to HUD for approval, as well as an action plan, annual action plan for every year of the cycle. Through internal meetings, staff discuss priorities for the CDBG funding. We don't get a whole lot of money and we have a lot of needs. So the focus of the CDBG fund has been determined to be used for public infrastructure improvements, public facility improvements, public services to enhance the quality of the district. Staff is recommending staff is opening this up for public hearing. The plan has been made available to the public review and comment for 30 days as required by the CDBG grant regulations, and tonight we're going to have public hearing for members of the public to
Thank you very much. I'll open it up to the council or any of the public that are, raise your hand one time. Yes, please, Mrs. Acosta.
I know that we have a lot of these meetings, and a lot of times we don't really, I don't think there's a whole lot of participation, but can you just give us a quick overview of what the plan, what we're saying we're gonna do with this funding for the next 4 years? I know you mentioned public facility updates and things like that, but do you have like a list of things that you can go over, like high level?
Based on advice from our project, we didn't get very specific on projects, just that we would address all of our funding towards our building lines and very city of Douglas. We do have specific projects in mind. For example, for the first year annual action plan, we are anticipating doing sidewalk and curbing and lighting along 15th Street from Washington all the way to Airport, where there is none existing, and obviously updating all of the corners to have projects up. For future years, we discussed other infrastructure that is much needed, especially with annexations that are being closed for installation of sewer and other improvements for driving improvements to steel. Like I said, we don't get a ton of money. Our average allocation is 160 to 170,000 annually, and
So it's very hard to stretch the funding to do like really major projects. But those are some examples of what we're considering.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a whole lot of money, but it's definitely, I mean, sidewalks, curbing, ADA compliant, corners. Yeah, I mean, everything that you mentioned is definitely needs, so I just wanted to get kind of a general overview of what those plans were.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Costa. Good question.
Mayor,
Yes, please, Mr. Montaño.
I have a question regarding the designation of that area. You said it was for lower income thing, but seeing the area that you mentioned, how did that come about as being one of the lower income areas? If, for example, in my ward, there's areas there are no sidewalks, there's no drainage, a lot of that stuff. How did that take priority over other areas of the city?
Mr. Montaño, Mayor,
I'm sorry, I read that report that you put, that was provided to us,
Mhm.
and I saw that area was a lower income. Is that because of the apartments or what? I mean, if you go down 15th, it doesn't seem like it would be the lower income areas of Douglas.
yes, Mr. Montaño, Mr. Mayor. HUD actually puts out maps designating the low and mod income areas of jurisdictions based on census demographic data that they collect. The maps should be updated by HUD more frequently. Unfortunately, it's a slow process and HUD has not updated the maps in quite a few years. But we're taking advantage that that area is still designated low to mod income so that we can make these much needed improvements to that area before it changes. HUD is scheduled to update their maps within the next year or two. And so we're trying to hit up the areas that don't have existing curbing and sidewalk and lighting that are still designated as low mod income for our 5-year cycle, so that if and when that changes, at least those improvements have been addressed.
Thank you. And any member of the council, if you have some areas in your wards that you feel may qualify, please visit with Mr. Kehoe. And I'm sure those will be taken into consideration. So please do that.
I have a question.
Yes, please. Mr.
Ms. Gonzalez, is that gonna go into the avenues part of 15th Street, off of 15th Street, like Rogers Avenue and Baker's Avenue? Since we annex part of the Animal Shelter Center, we're gonna go with the sidewalk to the Animal Shelter Center?
Mr. Baldenegro, Mayor, not with this funding year cycle. It's not proposed. Like I said, our funds are limited and just depending on cost estimates, we have to try to figure out how much we can squeeze in. It may be something that we can look to do in the future, but it's not proposed with the 2024 annual action plan.
Is United Way still involved with this in Sierra Vista with the HUD fund?
Mr. Baldenegro, Mr. Mayor, no, United Way was involved with our COVID funds when we were doing public services. We don't have COVID funds available any longer. And so our partnership with United Way has ceased.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. Yes, please, Ms. Costa.
I just wanted to add, I've used the quote unquote trails, I guess, from Airport Park down 15th Street. There is no really safe travel path for either bicycles or pedestrians for a good part of 15th Street. So I think it's good. It's not in my ward. But I think it makes sense, especially if we want to connect parks to trails to other parks. I like the idea and based on the fact that we don't have too much funding, we do what we can. So thank you. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Ms. Costa. And I also appreciate being around schools. That we keep the kids off having to walk in the streets. That's great.
That's fine.
We'll give it a couple more minutes. Anybody else wants in? hearing.
It wakes up all senses.
What's that?
It wakes up all my senses.
Ms. Gonzalez, is this, information available on our website for people to look at it?
Mr. Mayor, yes, the draft consolidated plan is available. It has been on our website since we opened it up for public review and comment. The last day for public review and comment is today. And then once the plan is approved at a later point in tonight's meeting, then we can submit the final to HUD.
And again, those are the requirements, but if somebody had a comment 2 weeks from now, we'd be more than happy to receive it and listen to that.
Yes, Mayor. Unofficially, we could receive the comment. It wouldn't be part of the plan, but yes, we are absolutely open to receiving comments at any time.
Excellent. Item number 5, adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Morales.
I move to adjourn our meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morales, second by Mrs. Acosta to adjourn our special meeting public hearing. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by nay? The ayes have it. We stand adjourned at 5:02 PM.
Venía más, o no tan buenas.
Mr. Mayor, it's time.
Yeah, it's you.
I'd like to call this special meeting to order for the budget public hearing on July tenth, 2024 at 5:15 PM. Roll call, please.
Mayor Donald Hewett,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tempore Margaret Morales,
Present.
Councilmember Jose Montaño,
Here.
Councilmember Dania Acosta,
Present.
Councilmember Ray Shelton,
Present.
Councilmember Mike Vandenegger,
Present.
Councilmember Richard Acosta,
Present.
City Manager Honor People,
Present.
City Attorney Tina Benucci,
Present.
City Treasurer Luis Pedrosa.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3, persons wishing to address the council in writing or verbally on any item not on the agenda. Do we have anyone for this meeting?
We do not, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Item number 4, discussion on public hearing. Item A. The purpose of the public hearing is to allow public participation regarding the final budget adoption for fiscal year 2024, 2025. I know we have a special meeting following this public hearing. Well, Mr. Martinez, would you like to say anything at this public hearing or hold it for another 15 minutes?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. No, we've gone through the legal process and according to state law, we've published the schedules on our website and on the newspaper for at least 2 consecutive weeks. So at this point, it's the time for the public to have their public hearing, and then we'll talk more in detail at our next meeting.
Open it up to the council and public.
All,
Yes,
Mr. Mayor,
Shelton?
all I can say is, I've been going over the budget and they've done an excellent job on it and, figures are in and, once again, I know it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort by the, staff to do this, so thank you for doing a good job.
Thank you, Mr. Shelton. Last call, anyone? We now move on to item 5, adjournment. We have a motion to adjourn.
Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Morales.
I move to adjourn our special meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morales, second by Mrs. Acosta to adjourn our special meeting budget public hearing. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by nay? The ayes have it. We stand adjourned at 5:20 p.m.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, it's time.
I'd like to call this special meeting to order, the Douglas City Council for the final budget adoption on July tenth, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mayor Donald Hewish,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tempore Margaret Morales,
Present.
Councilmember Jose Montaño,
Here.
Councilmember Dania Acosta,
Present.
Councilmember Ray Shelton,
Present.
Councilmember Michael Valdenegro,
Present.
Councilmember Richard Acosta,
Present.
City Manager Ana Urquijo,
Present.
City Attorney Tina Benucci,
Present.
City Treasurer Luis Pedrosa.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3, persons wishing to address the council in writing or verbally on any item not on the agenda. Do you have anyone for this?
We do not, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Item number 4, discussion decision on approval of item A, resolution number 24-1609. A resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, adopting the city of Douglas budget for fiscal year 2024, 2025. Mr. Martinez, please.
Good evening again, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. What you have in front of you is the final budget adoption for fiscal year 24-25 in the amount of $67,772,275. That is a slight decrease from your tentative budget adoption of $67,778,377. The draft budget was presented to the mayor and council during the council meeting on June 12, 2024. The council adopted a tentative budget via resolution 24-1608. By adopting the tentative budget, council established a maximum expenditure limit. For this final adoption, the council may still decrease or move funding from one line item to another within the same fund, but expenditures cannot be increased, as we have discussed in the past. Changes that we are proposing and that we have made to the budget since the meeting on the 12th of June are the following. Final state shared revenues came in. Both TPT, which is our sales tax from the state shares with us, and BLT, which is our vehicle license tax, came in higher by a total of 25,460 from the initial estimate. I'm sorry, 25,460 for sales tax and $16,073 for VLT. Income tax came in lower by $21,270. The net effect in the general fund was a plus 20,263 from the estimations we had back on June 12th. Staff is recommending leaving in fund balance to avoid going over our cap set at the tentative budget adoption. And we're also lowering our forecast in city sales tax revenue accordingly. Our HERF came in higher by $10,780 from the original estimation. As a result, we are recommending increasing street projects by that same amount. On 6/27, as you might have heard, we were awarded a $23.5 million raise grant for commercial routes resurfacing. There's really a change to the budget, is the only is reclassifying that grant from pending to awarded. Another change we are recommending is a 1% cost of living adjustment, or COLA, to all employees, amounting to $101,369,000 to the general fund at a cost, and $28,915 for other funds. In the general fund, this adjustment will be financed by reducing the general government reserve account by that amount, which is $101,369. For other funds, we have made adjustments to operating line items in areas showing higher than historical usage and or other operational changes. Again, the COLA that we're recommending will not increase our budget. We've made those adjustments to be able to finance it. Lastly, staff are recommending reassigning $50,000 towards the historic preservation program. This is being funded by, again, reducing that general government reserve account. Staff recommends approval of the fiscal year 24-25 budget as presented.
Mr. Martinez, just by way of clarification and full disclosure, that's a 1% increase, salary, cost of living increase adjustment is in addition to the $1,000 bonus that will also be provided to staff.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, that is correct. It's in addition to the already proposed and budgeted $1,000 bonus for each employee, one-time $1,000 bonus.
Thank you very much. May I have a motion regarding the resolution?
Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Morales.
I move that mayor and council approve resolution number 24-1609.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morales, second by Mr. Boavenegro to approve resolution 24-1609. Any questions or discussion? Council, please.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, please, Mr. Costa.
yes, I just wanna, I'm all about data and numbers and, I'm very, very appreciative of the work you and your staff did with the city manager, with this budget. I mean, I'm very impressed. I've been with the school district for many years. And the data and the numbers are all here, so it kind of made it very easy for us to look into the numbers and see the increases or decreases. But I want to just thank you for the work. Job well done.
Thank you, Mr.
Costa. Anyone else? Hearing none, roll call regarding the resolution. Please.
Councilmember Montañez,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes,
Councilmember Boavenegro.
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, motion carries. Item number 5, adjournment. I have a motion to adjourn our special. meeting.
Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Morales.
I move to adjourn meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morales, second by Mr. Baldwin, to adjourn our special meeting regarding the final budget adoption. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by nay? The ayes have it. We stand adjourned at 5:37. We'll be back at 6.
Mr. Mayor, it's time.
I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Douglas City Council to order July 10th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Roll call, please. Oh, excuse
Mr.
me.
Mayor.
Let's do the pledge first.
Yes.
We're at our regular meeting. My apologies. Would you please stand for the pledge of allegiance and remain standing for Reverend Marco Basulto from the Immaculate Conception Church to offer our invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. Amen. One triune God, we praise you, we bless you, and we thank you for all your creation, the work of your hands. You give us signs of your love for us. We thank you for giving us life, helping us, and protecting us. Merciful Father, we put our lives and the lives of all who we serve in your hands. It is your gift for which we have been called to participate with you in the construction of your kingdom, working for a more just and compassionate society. This evening, we place the Douglas City Council meeting in your hands. Bless all its members and give them the wisdom to carry out their goals and projects for the good of the citizens of this city of Douglas. Give them your grace so that they always exercise their authority with charity, defending the values of the gospel. May them collaborate together, removing all bad feelings and misunderstandings from their hearts. May their decisions be for the well-being of the citizens and to please you in everything for the greater glory of your name. We ask this with the words that your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, has taught us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, that we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. The Lord be with you. And may Almighty God bless you, the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Father Marco, very much. It's really appreciated. Your kind words and direction reminding us why we're here. Thank you. Item number 4, roll call, please.
Mayor Donald Hewish.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tempore Margaret Morales.
Present.
Councilmember Jose Montaño.
Here.
Councilmember Dania Acosta.
Present.
Councilmember Ray Shelton.
Present.
Councilmember Michael Valdenegro.
Present.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Present.
City Manager Ana Urquijo.
Present.
City Attorney Tina Benucci.
Present.
City Treasurer Luis Pedrosa.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item number, the addendum that was added to our meeting, the presentation of awards for our 4th of July parade winners. We're grateful to have some of them here this evening. In third place, representing Hibbett Sports, Gloria Mesa. Anybody, please come forward and we'll wait and we'll take a group picture. So when it's time. Second place from Ministerios Tierra de Bendición, Marisela Ruiz. Welcome. And first place, the Little League Junior Softball team, represented by Eddie Gonzalez, and it looks like we have quite a few of the team here. So why don't you all come up and we'll present this to you. Take a quick picture. Yeah, come on in, ladies, come around, so we can all take a picture. You guys know how we'll wait for line up the picture.
You want to stand behind
So many.
You guys are welcome to come down. Or just stay over here.
the- Yeah.
Now, why don't we stand up there?
Oh, you want to come up? Fine.
The ladies in the front row, you know. Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming, and you don't have to stay if you don't want to.
I'll grab those.
Somebody left.
Good high school softball.
I hope so.
I love doing those things, but it also makes me feel very, very old as you see. Some of the kids, they have their kids here now. But that's great to see that tradition carry on. Item number 5, persons wishing to address the council in writing or verbally on any item not on the agenda. Do we have anyone for this evening?
Yes, we do, Mr. Mayor.
Please. Jose Grijalva, please.
Jose Grijalva, 1220 First Street in Douglas. I just wanted to talk about the call to the public last month. I sat in a council seat for 6 years. It was a little different from the audience. And I just wanted to apologize to our magistrate. I don't think it's fair being dragged in the mud like that. We do have a DMC, which talks about DMC 2.02.0209A, talks about repetitive speeches. This has been going on for more than 13 years. As a council, we've still allowed it. Defamatory comments, I mean, calling someone illegitimate in that office when it's elected. We have to remember, you're all passing ordinance today. She's the one that takes up those ordinances. So if she's saying, somebody's saying they're illegitimate, they're saying those ordinances are illegitimate. She swears in council and mayor saying that you guys are illegitimate too. I think at some point, I mean, if somebody wants free speech, wants to talk about it one time, that's great. But continue to doing it in an elected position, which represents our city. I think at some point, we have to show show respect, especially when they're not here to defend themselves. So I just wanted to say that and thank you for taking your time to listen to me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grijalva. Item number 6, discussion decision on approval of consent agenda items. And I'll be reading quite a few appointments, and those that are here, if you'd hold on just a minute, and at the end, we'll come up and take a group picture and present you with your certificates of appointment. Item number A, expenditures for the month of June 2024 totaling $4,684,967.55. Item B, meeting minutes for May 1, May 28, June 5, and June 12, 2024. Item C, bid award to RCI Property Enterprise for the Food City Building floor improvement. Item D, Airport Authority reappointments of Bill Wentz and Carlos Fernandez. Item E, Board of Adjustment reappointments of Joe Moran and Arturo Torres, and appointments of Joe Daniel and Lauren Gladwell. Item F, Finance Committee reappointment of Michael Baldenegro as the ex officio member, and appointment of Leo Gutierrez. Item G, Public Safety Retirement Board appointment of Dania Costa and Carlos Guido. Item H, Industrial Development Authority reappointment of Vicky Merritt. Item I, Douglas Public Facility Municipal Property Corporation reappointment of Jose Montaño. Item J, Personnel Appeals Board reappointments of Joe Moran, Luana Diffie, Ken Nelson, and appointment of Veronica Abrigo. Item K, Planning and Zoning Commission reappointments of Greg Abrigo and Louis Garcia, and appointment of Jeremy Godoy. Item L, Police Public Safety Retirement Board reappointment of Michael Baldenegro and appointment of Carlos Guido. Item M, Transportation Advisory Committee appointment of Raul Montaño. May I have a motion regarding the consent agenda items, please?
Mayor,
Yes, Mrs. Morales.
I move that mayor and council approve agenda items, consent agenda items A through M is presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morales, second by Mr. Shelton to approve the consent agenda items as presented. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta,
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton,
Yes.
Councilmember Montenegro,
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, motion carries. And before I have the appointees come forward, I'd like to express my sincere thanks to the ones that are here and the ones that are also not here for their willingness to be able to serve and make these very important boards and commissions and committees and so on and so forth to help make our city viable and make it run and have public involvement. So if you're here, please come forward, and Ms. Cynthia is going to help pass out what we have.
Yes.
There you go. All right. Good.
Thank you. And speaking of boards and commissions, unfortunately, one of our most faithful participants in any of our boards and commissions, Ms. Deborah Went, passed away here recently, and if you would please stand and join me with a moment of silence on her behalf. Thank you. Mrs. Went, may you rest in peace. Item number 7, discussion decision on approvals. Item A, second reading of ordinance number 24-1191, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, adopting by reference appendix Q of the International Residential Code, IRC, 2021 edition, and amending the Douglas Municipal Code, chapter 15.04, Uniform Building Codes as set forth in Exhibit A, establishing severability of components of ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof. We have Ms. McLaughlin with us to walk us through this once again. Welcome. Thank you.
I previously appeared before mayor and council last month. for first reading. Ordinance number 24-111 is an amendment to the Government specifically provides for the adoption of the 2021 and the sign of staff and the staff of the planning commission that on June 6th is not given mission to be unanimously approved or recommendation of approval to be forwarded to the community. Last month, after being called regular meeting, the first reading of ordinance is.
Thank you, Ms. McLaughlin. May I have a motion regarding the second reading of the ordinance?
Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Boldonero.
I move the mayor and council approve the second reading of ordinance number 241191 by number and title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Boldonero, second by Mr. Acosta. And Mrs. Acosta. For the approval of the second reading of ordinance number 24-1191 by number and title only. Any questions or comments, please?
Mayor?
Yes, please, Mrs. Acosta.
I do have some, I guess, concerns that were brought up after last meeting and, at the moment, I guess I hadn't thought about that, but so what stops from developers making a bunch of these little tiny homes throughout the city and then it becoming, I guess, defeating the purpose of what the tiny home community should be? I guess, meaning, you know, the cost for these tiny homes, that developers might make may skyrocket when it should be an affordable housing option for those that don't need a huge dwelling.
I think I heard some of these concerns both from the commission as well as council. I think those concerns are better addressed more in the zoning regulations versus the building code. And the building code, what this regulates is just how it's constructed, and so it's constructed in a safe manner.
Okay.
And it provides some guidance in terms of, it does provide relaxation in terms of some standards that are typical for residential building. It makes it so you can do lower roofs and the tread. But the larger concern and what you're getting at is really more of a zoning. issue.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you, Mrs. Acosta. So if staff could look into that and bring that through a report to us or an agenda item for an upcoming meeting. Yes.
Mayor, can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Kegel, please.
So I want to just also add that Planning and Zoning Commission will meet next Tuesday to begin that work session on exactly that that discussion. So we will be coming back soon with zoning regulations to regulate where these tiny homes can be constructed.
Thank you very much. Mr. Montaño?
Yeah, quick question. I'm not sure if it was brought up at the last meeting, but I think it was. And I don't know if you were supposed to look into it or not, but I'll ask it again. The foundation for these, I know you said some other municipalities, it was a requirement for them to be on a foundation, but others maybe not. So my concern is that we don't want to start a bunch of RV parks kind of all over the place. So my concern is that or my suggestion is that these are made on a foundation and not bring one in tomorrow, take it out 2 weeks from now and turn it into an RV park. So can you address that part?
Yes. And actually, this will be part of the work session that we're having next Tuesday that the city manager just mentioned. There is differences in types of tiny homes. There's tiny homes on wheels, there's tiny homes on foundations. They can be regulated differently. And typically the ones on wheels are treated as RVs and they have an RV sticker. Factory built buildings, they'll have another sticker. They're regulated by the Arizona Department of Housing. And then there's the ones site built on a foundation. So I think it's important within zoning, both to address where these are permitted and then the type of tiny homes that are permitted within that specific district, like I think you're alluding to.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Montaño. Anyone else? Hearing none, roll call please.
Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta,
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro.
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, motion carries.
an ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, adopting by reference Appendix Q of the International Residential Code, IRC 2021 edition, and amending the Douglas Municipal Code, Chapter 15.04, Uniform Building Codes as set forth in Exhibit A, establishing severability of components of ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof.
Thank you. Item number 7B, discussion decision on second reading of ordinance number 24-1192. An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the sale of a parcel of land located on the north side of 11th Street, approximately 1,242 feet west of Pan American Avenue, with assessor's parcel number 409-06-020E3 to OVA Enterprises LLC pursuant to terms entered into by the parties, establishing severability of components of ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof. Mr. Pedrosa, please.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. The Douglas IDA recently sold parcel 409-06-020L to OVA Enterprises, containing a warehouse that was being leased by the IDA to OVA Enterprises. The city owns the thin parcel west of the OVA parcel that occupies the existing compound. OVA Enterprises is interested in buying the parcel, and mayor and council provided direction to staff to negotiate the sale. City council recently took action to release the parcel sold by the IDA of its previous lease and management agreements held between the IDA and the city since 1978 and 1979 respectively, established in partnership at the time to attract industrial development to the area. With the IDA now selling the large parcel, the city-owned parcel is no longer under any lease. Therefore, the city may proceed with the proposed sale. The city-owned parcel, which is 409-06-020E, currently intersects the warehouse facility compound and encompasses the existing entrance. The parcel is about 55 feet wide and 363 feet in length for a total of 0.47 acres. Parcel would be considered an undevelopable parcel on its own, and since it is already part of the compound, OVA Enterprises would like to continue to use it. Mayor and council directed staff to negotiate the purchase of this parcel, and the proposed purchase price is $15,000 with $5,000 due at the opening of escrow. Staff recommends approval of the sale as directed by mayor and council.
Thank you very much. May I have a motion regarding the second reading of the ordinance?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Shelton, please.
I move the mayor and council approve the second reading of ordinance number 24-1192 by number and title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Shelton, second by Mr. Valdenegro to approve the second reading of ordinance number 24-1192 by number and title. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta,
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro.
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, motion carries. Item number 7C, discussing decision on first reading of ordinance number 24-1193. An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, adopting Title 18, Historic Preservation, by reference to add Title 18 to the City of Douglas Municipal Code, establishing severability of components of ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof. Mr. Dorame, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Council. The proposed Title 18 of the Douglas Municipal Code will establish a comprehensive historic preservation ordinance in which includes provisions for preservation, restoration, and rehabilitation of historic properties within the city of Douglas, and introduces the Douglas Landmark Restoration Program as a key incentive for property owners. The proposed Title 18 includes historic preservation regulations, establishing purpose, definitions, and general provisions for historic preservation in Douglas, the designation and review process outlining the procedures for nominating and designating historic properties and districts, incentives and compliance, offering incentives to property owners and ensuring compliance with preservation standards. Part of the reason that staff created Title 18, the Historic Preservation Ordinance, is to qualify to become a certified local government through the State Historic Preservation Office, also known as SHPO. Staff did create Title 18 in accordance with the CLG Certified Local Government criteria to enable the city to qualify for CLG status. CLG status would make the city eligible for specialized assistance and funding for its preservation program. The ordinance will serve to preserve and protect properties that represent the distinctive elements of Douglas's heritage, encourage the restoration and maintenance of historic properties, enhance Douglas's attractiveness to visitors, thereby supporting economic development, and promote civic pride in the city's historic accomplishments. And with that, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Dorame. May I have a motion regarding the approval of the placement of the ordinance?
Mayor,
Yes, please, Mrs. Acosta.
I move that mayor and council approve the placement of ordinance number 24-1193 on its first reading by number and title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Acosta, second by Mr. Baldanegro to approve the placement of ordinance number 24-1193 on its first reading by number and title only. I'd like to begin the discussion by thanking Mrs. Acosta for being the driving force behind the starting of all this, so we can improve our historic preservation. Thank you, Mrs. Acosta, so much. Any other questions or comments? We get a chance here in another minute if something comes to mind. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Montaño.
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Baldanegro.
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Potempo Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, motion carries.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, adopting Title 18 Historic Preservation by reference to add Title 18 to the city of Douglas Municipal Code, establishing severability of components of ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof.
May I have a motion regarding the approval of first reading of the ordinance?
Mayor,
Yes, please, Mrs. Acosta.
I move that mayor and council approve the first reading of ordinance number 24-1193 and to place it on its second reading by number and title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Acosta, second by Mr. Montaño to approve the first reading of ordinance number 24-1193 and to place it on second reading by number and title only. Any questions or comments? You would like to thank staff for doing this. It's been a few months coming.
I was just
Appreciate
gonna
it.
say that I actually am looking at my name on here, but in reality, the work goes to staff because they're the ones who, finished the research. I just brought up but they did all the work. So thank you, staff.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Montaño.
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Baldanegro.
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Potempo Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, motion carries.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, adopting Title 18 Historic Preservation by reference to add Title 18 to the city of Douglas Municipal Code, establishing severability of components of ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof.
Thank you. Item number 7D, discussion decision on first reading of ordinance number 24-1194. An ordinance in the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the abandonment of a small portion of the city right of way located on Van Buren Avenue, beginning on the northeast corner of lot 26, block 30 of the Foothills Edition, located along 15th Street and Van Buren Avenue, to Encarnacion and Nadia Denise Baez, husband and wife pursuant to abandonment agreement entered into by the parties, establishing severability of components of the ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof. Ms. Gonzalez, please.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. A while back, the city of Douglas sold assessor's parcel number 410-32-121 to Mr. Encarnacion and Nadia Denise Baez for the eventual development of two single-family residential structures. The parcel as sold does not meet the square footage required to split into two parcels for the construction of two single-family residential 12,000 homes. Staff met with Mr. Baez when he approached the city to attempt to split the parcel that he purchased into two parcels. And it was then that it was discovered that the parcel did not have the necessary square footage. The city desires to encourage multiple housing units in conformance with the zoning code and has unutilized portion of the right-of-way, 2.5 feet wide by 207 feet in length, east of the Baez parcel. The abandonment of the portion of right-of-way can be used to bring conformance to allow the development of two homes. I'll entertain any questions.
Thank you. May I have a motion regarding the placement of the ordinance, please?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, please, Mr. Shelton.
I move the mayor and council approve the placement of ordinance number 24-1194 on its first reading by number and title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Shelton, second by Mr. Montano to approve the placement of ordinance number 24-1194 on its first reading by number and title only. Any questions or comments, please? It is my understanding, Ms. Gonzalez, that this was oversight by changeover in staff and such, and I'm happy that it was caught, that, so that we can make sure to do things the right way and make sure that they comply with our ordinance. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The oversight was caused by staff guiding Mr. Baez at a very high level without requesting a survey to determine the dimensions of the parcel that he purchased. Staff has established improved practices to enhance accountability to avoid similar occurrences in the future.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, please, Mr.
It's
Costa.
my understanding that it is an SFR 12, correct?
Mr.
And by
Acosta,
splitting that, we'll make it into an SFR 6.
Mr. Acosta, Mayor, that is not correct. The purpose of abandoning the 2.5 foot by 207 foot portion of the right of way is so that he can split it into two equal SFR 12 parcels. And they will be in conformance with the zoning district.
Thank you, Mr. Costa. Anyone else?
Mayor,
Yes, please.
I just wanted to comment for a good job for Ms. Gonzalez's department and her staff. There's been a lot of inconsistencies from many years ago that I know have been coming to us and planning and zoning and all kinds of different issues. I don't see this as a I don't want to call it a failure, but I don't see it as something negative from your staff. On the contrary, I see that you guys are catching these things that shouldn't have happened back whenever they did. So thank you for clarifying all this stuff and bringing it back up to code like it should be.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Acosta. Anyone else? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Montaño.
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro.
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, motion carries.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the abandonment of a small portion of the city right of way located on Van Buren Avenue, beginning on the northeast corner of lot 26, block 30, of the Foothills Edition located along 15th Street and Van Buren Avenue, to Encarnacion and Nadia Denise Baez, husband and wife, pursuant to abandonment agreement entered into by the parties, establishing several legal components of ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof.
Thank you. May I have a motion regarding the approval of the first reading?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, please, Mr. Shelton.
I move that the mayor and council approve the first reading ordinance number 24-1194 and to place it on second reading by number and title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Shelton, second by Mr. Acosta to approve the first reading of ordinance number 24-1194 and place it on the second reading by number and title only. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call please.
Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Montenegro.
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Temper Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, motion carries.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the abandonment of a small portion of the right of way located on Van Buren Avenue, beginning on the northeast corner of lot 26, block 30 of the Foothills Edition, located along 15th Street and Van Buren Avenue, to Encarnacion and Nadia Denise Baez, husband and wife, pursuant to abandonment agreement entered into by the parties, establishing severability of components of ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof.
Thank you. Item number 7E, discussion decision on first reading of ordinance number 24-1195. An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, amending the city of Douglas Municipal Code Title III, Revenue and Finance, Chapter 3.12, Cemetery Fees, Section 3.12.060, Sale and Purchase of Internment Rights and, to add a period of time for the purchase of a formerly occupied grave space before it reverts to the city, establishing the severability of components of ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof. Ms. Smith, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, members of the public and staff. The item before you is an amendment to Title 3.12 and an amendment to cemetery fees pertaining to the reversion of internment rights after a permanent exhumation of a formerly occupied grave space. An exhumation is a process of digging up and removing a body from a grave. The current code that we have, the provision of Section 3.12.060G, mandates that a grave space reverts to the city after it is vacated due to a transfer or a permanent exhumation. This procedure is carried out for various reasons, including legal investigations, relocating remains to another burial site, forensic examination, or any cultural and religious beliefs. The current code provision would require a family to repurchase a plot after a permanent exhumation occurs. The proposed amendment would allow families to notify the city of their intention to retain the interment rights of a plot following a permanent exhumation of a previously occupied grave space before it reverts back to the city. This amendment is designed to accommodate families who wish to retain the original grave space after transferring the remains, providing them with a clear timeframe and process for such transactions. This ensures the city's interests are protected while being considerate of family needs, and staff is recommending approval.
Thank you very much. May I have a motion regarding the placement of the ordinance, please? Yes, Ms. Acosta.
I move that mayor and council approve the placement of ordinance number 24-1195 on its first reading by number and title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Acosta, second by Mr. Valdenegro to approve the placement of ordinance number 24-1195 on its first reading by number and title only. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro.
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, motion carries.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, amending the city of Douglas Municipal Code Title III, Revenue and Finance, Chapter 3.12, Cemetery Fees, Section 3.12.060, sale and purchase of internment rights to add a period of time for the purchase of formerly occupied grave space before it reverts to the city, establishing severability of components of ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof.
Thank you. May I have a motion regarding the approval of the first reading?
Mayor,
Yes, please, Mrs. Costa.
I move that mayor and council approve the first reading of ordinance number 24-1195 and to place it on second reading by number and title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Costa, second by Mr. Valvanero to approve the first reading of ordinance number 24-1195 and to place it on the second reading by number and title only. Any questions or comments? Again, thanks to staff for cleaning things up. Appreciate it. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro.
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, motion carries.
an ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, amending the city of Douglas Municipal Code Title III, Revenue and Finance, Chapter 3.12, Cemetery Fees, Section 3.12.060, Sale and Purchase of Internment Rights to add a period of time for the purchase of formerly occupied grave space before it reverts to the city, establishing severability of components of ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof.
Thank you. Item number 7F, discussion decision on resolution number 24-1610. A resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, designating the finance director Alejandro Martinez as the city's chief fiscal officer for purposes of officially submitting the fiscal year expenditure limitation report to the Arizona Auditor General. Mr. Martinez, please.
Hello again, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. The Arizona Auditor General requires that the city designate a chief fiscal officer via a mayor and council resolution on a yearly basis to submit the annual expenditure limitation report required to be submitted by all cities and towns. Staff is recommending to designate Alejandro Martinez as Finance Director as Chief Fiscal Officer for the city of Douglas for fiscal year 2025 and to remit the annual expenditure limitation report as required by state statute.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. May I have a motion regarding the resolution, please?
Mayor,
Mr. Acosta, please.
I move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 24-1610.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Acosta, second by Mr. Valvanegro to approve resolution number 24-1610. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta,
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro.
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, motion carries. Item number 7G, discussion decision on resolution number 24-1611. A resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, approving the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, 5-year consolidated plans, 2024 through 2028, and annual action plan for fiscal year 2024 for the city of Douglas. Ms. Gonzalez, please.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, the city of Douglas as a CDBG entitlement community is required to prepare a consolidated plan for every 5-year cycle, as well as an annual action plan for every year of the cycle and submitted to HUD for approval. The plan with all required documents must be received by HUD by no later than August 16, 2024 by regulation. Staff is seeking approval of the plan.
Thank you. May I have a motion regarding the resolution, please?
Mayor,
Yes, please, Mr. Acosta. Well, who is that? Mr. Valvanegro. Thank you.
I move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 24-1611.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Valvanegro, second by Mrs. Acosta to approve resolution number 24-1611. No questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro.
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, motion carries. Item number 7H, discussion decision on resolution number 24-1612. A resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, adopting the analysis of impediments to fair housing choice AI report update for the city of Douglas. Ms. Gonzalez, please.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, again, as a CDBG entitlement community, City of Douglas must comply with grant requirements that an analysis of impediments to fair housing choice document is prepared as part of the consolidated plan process. The previous AI report was adopted in 2014 when the city first became a CDBG entitlement community. The purpose of the AI document is to provide essential, specific, and detailed information and data to municipal officials, staff, policymakers, housing developers, lenders, and fair housing advocates to help build public support for fair housing efforts. The report represents the City of Douglas' efforts in making an objective assessment of the nature and extent of fair housing concerns in the city, as well as the potential impediments to making fair housing choice available to its residents. Staff is recommending approval of the update.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. May I have a motion regarding the resolution, please?
Mayor,
Yes, please, Ms. Boldonado.
I move the mayor and council approve resolution number 24-1612.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Boldonado, second by Mrs. Acosta to approve resolution number 24-1612. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta,
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Montenegro,
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Potempo Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, motion carries. Item number 7I. Discussion decision on contract approval with J2 Engineering and Environmental Design LLC for downtown streetscape final designs. Mr. Dora, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This item is for the approval of a professional services agreement contract with J2 Engineering and Environmental Design for the downtown streetscape project's final design. During the April 2024 City Council meeting, the mayor and council selected a concept for the downtown streetscape project. The concept was based on feedback from the mayor and council during the December 2023 strategic planning retreat and in consideration of all input received from the community. With approval from mayor and council, staff directed J2 Design to move the project forward to complete the 30% design, also referred to as the Design Concept Report or DCR. In June 2024, J2 Design produced the DCR, which is uploaded to our project site, Engage Douglas, at engage.douglasaz.gov. Which outlines the preliminary plans and vision for the project and serves as a comprehensive guide that captures the initial ideas, goals, and proposed elements to improve the aesthetic functionality and the overall experience in our downtown area. The city staff requested J2 Design to provide a proposal to take the project from 30% design to 100% engineering and design, in which they provided the proposal with the final design fee cost of $261,500. Staff recommends approving the professional services agreement to J2 Design in the amount of $261,500 to take the project to 100% engineering design. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Dorame. May I have a motion regarding this agenda item, please?
Mr.
Mr.
Mayor,
Mayor,
Mr. Acosta, please.
I move that the mayor and council approve the contract with J2 Engineering and Environmental Design LLC for downtown streetscape final design.
Is there a second?
second.
Motion by Mr. Acosta, second by Mr. Shelton to approve the contract with J2 Engineering and Environmental Design LLC for downtown streetscape final design. Any questions or comments, please?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, please, Mr. Shelton.
we had where we went out and asked the public what they wanted, what was their priority? Which one came in first? Right or wrong?
Design plan, you want?
Yeah. Am I right or wrong? On this?
Mayor, Councilmember Shelton, are you asking about which concept was chosen
Yes.
by the public? The concept that was selected was the one that was introduced to mayor and council on the April 2024 meeting. So we took all the input provided by the community, Facebook comments, survey results, and integrated it into the overall concept design. So did that answer your question? Okay.
Thank you.
Am I remembering?
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Any other questions or comments, please? Mr. Kiko, would you like to comment a little bit about the funding of the project once it's designed? A little bit, please.
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Mayor, members of the council, I can comment on that, and I can add a little to Mr. Shelton's question as well. Mr. Shelton, we approved what we called concept 4 after having reviewed 3 different concepts, and we did a hybrid with priorities on full of some trees. Trees was a big priority. We modified the width of the sidewalk extensions to accommodate some of the comments. We added parking for disabled citizens, and we also added some Purple Heart parking. But the primary purpose of the engineering to continue to 100% is to gather all of the street requirements and improvements on the infrastructure. The aesthetics will come phased as a phased approach, but right now we need to get the engineering done so we can get that out for construction. And that's the primary point of their professional services agreement, but the concept is available. If anyone wants a refresher, we can get that posted to this agenda item on the website, and it should also be available on our Engage Douglas project page. So as far as the funding for this, we propose that we use available funding. As you recall, we've been putting aside downtown money for some time for either grant match or other opportunities. This is ideal for this purpose. We do have a grant for engineering from a SMART grant through ADOT. And we are working with ADOT to apply that to another portion of the project because there are so many elements to the project. So we still have drainage studies and other elements to carry across Olive Avenue, not just the 3-block streetscape. So we are working with ADOT to repurpose the grant that we have for engineering design, just to beat the timetable or timeline, if you will. Because what we found out after we received the grant award through the SMART program under ADOT was that ADOT would have to administer the project, manage the project, bid the project, and that would just further delay the process. So they are working positively with us to divert that. 217,000 is the amount of that awarded fund for engineering that we have been awarded to use on another portion of the project, and we'll come back as soon as I itemize those details and wrap that up. But this portion, I really don't want to delay it because it takes at least 3 or 4 months to get from 30% to 100% engineering design, and I can't take it to bid for construction until we are at 100%. So right now the timeline's looking like November, December to be able to have that final engineering design at 100%, and then we can bid that out early next year, hoping to come back to award a bid for construction in early spring 2025.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta,
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro,
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, motion carries. Item number 8, discussion decision to call for and conduct an executive session for items A, under the authority of ARS 38-431.03 subsection A 3, 4, and 7 to consider its position, instruct its representatives, and obtain legal advice regarding the purchase, sale, or lease of real property located at Rancho La Paria Estates, blocks 3 and 4. Item B, under the authority of ARS 38-431.03 subsection A 3 and 4, to consider its position, instruct its representatives, and obtain legal advice regarding the West Annexation Revised Plan. And item C, under the authority of ARS 38-431.03 subsections A 3, 4, and 7, to consider its position and instruct representatives and obtain legal advice regarding the lease for the property located at 1701 10th Street. May I have a motion to enter an executive session, please?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Shelton.
I
please.
recommend we go into executive session to discuss said agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Shelton, second by Mr. Valdenegro to enter into executive session regarding the items previously read. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton,
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro,
Yes.
Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, motion carries. We enter into executive session at 6:56 PM. May I have a motion to adjourn our executive session, please?
Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Morales.
I move to adjourn our executive session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morales, second by Mr. Montaño to adjourn our executive session. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by nay? The ayes have it. We stand adjourned in executive session at 8:15. Item number 9, update on the executive session. Item A regarding the property located in Rancho La Parrilla Estates Blocks 3 and 4. We've instructed staff to continue negotiation on the bid that we received for block 4. Item B regarding the West Annexation Advice Plan, we've instructed staff to implement a phased approach to the annexation out to and past the new port of entry. Item C regarding the property located at 1701 10th Street, we've instructed staff to continue their pursuing and speaking with and talking with nonprofit civic groups that have an interest in that building. Okay, item number 10, city manager reports. Mrs. Urquijo, please.
Yes, thank you. I know we were, I had a bad connection, so I'm going to defer to Mr. Pedrosa to provide my report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Veloso.
Thank you, Mayor. Just on the 4th of July Independence Day celebration, a community event was held last week and included the grand opening of our Douglas Municipal Pool. We welcomed 350 patrons on opening day. Free admission was provided along with complimentary hot dogs, otter pops, and drinks. The main event, the day started with a lively parade featuring 60 entries. DJ entertainment and family activities started at noon. Family enjoyed various activities, including watermelon eating contest, pie eating contest, tug of war, musical chairs. The pickleball tournament had 9 teams, making for a competitive and fun atmosphere. We also hosted a car show with 10 participants showcasing their vehicles. Special thanks to all of our city staff and their hard work in ensuring that the pool project completion, the grand opening, and a successful 4th of July event. A reminder that Energize Douglas will be held this Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. downtown between 9th and 10th Street on G Avenue. The A Street Pool is now open for open swim Wednesday to Sunday from 1 to 5 p.m. at A Street Park. Regarding the library, the summer reading program continues with free family story times, crafts, programs, and special events continue until Friday, July 26th. This Friday, July 12th at 4 p.m., Wildman Phil will present a free reptile show featuring live animals, and the following Friday, July 19th at 5 p.m., a free desert-themed paint party with all supplies included. On Wednesday, July 24th, 6 p.m., the Douglas Public Library Book Club will meet to discuss The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And on Friday, July 26th at 2 p.m., the summer reading program wraps up with a Summer Olympics SRP celebration party. Other news in the library has partnered with Sky Island Alliance's Photofauna project to lend wildlife tracking cameras to residents to learn about the animals that make Douglas their home. The cameras should be ready to borrow within the next week. Through a program sponsored by Cochise County Library District, Douglas residents with valid library cards can now stream movies at no charge by using the free Canopy app. Contact the library for more information at 520-417-7352. A representative from Congressman Raul Grijalva's office will be available Thursday, July 25th from 10 to noon in the library's small conference room to meet with residents and help with federal issues such as Social Security, the VA, and immigration services. On the planning and zoning side, the P&Z Commission meeting will be held on Tuesday, July 16, 5:30 at City Hall Council Chamber. We also have a wood and sand event on Saturday, July 13th from 8 a.m. to noon at the City of Douglas Recycling Yard, which is just east of the transfer station. Wood that has been cleared from the jungle area along Third Street, behind Walmart, has been collected and will be free to, any resident or anybody, around the area interested in getting, that wood. Also, sand and sandbags will be provided free of charge. Everyone will be required to fill their own sandbags and load the wood that they would like to take, and there will be a limit of six sandbags per vehicle. Again, that's all free of charge. From the city clerk's office, early voting began Wednesday, July 3rd. Last day to request a ballot by mail is Friday, July 19th. The only voting center in Douglas is at the Douglas Government Center, 1012 G Avenue, and will be open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. City Hall will be open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Election Day, which is July 30th, only for any election-related questions. Unofficial results will be posted after 8 p.m. on the city's and Cochise County elections websites. Finally, a special council meeting to canvass the official election results is scheduled for August 6th. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Item number 11, informational items and reports from council and future agenda item requests. Anyone from the council?
Mayor?
Yes, please, Ms. Acosta.
Something that came up, especially with, one of the items on today's agenda. I'd like to see if there's any way to, look into either a public mausoleum or options for families to build mausoleums in the cemetery. If that could be looked into, I'd appreciate it. And then just thank you to our law enforcement and fire for 4th of July festivities, and fireworks were great. And as far as anybody knows, there's no big incidents that occurred. So thank you to all of that staff. And the library looks great. It's been painted, and I hope everybody's noticed, but it looks very clean, and hope to see some other stuff go up on those walls, on the walls later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Acosta. Anyone else? Hearing none, item number 12, adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor?
Yes, please, Mrs.
I move to
Morales.
adjourn our meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morales, second by Mr. Shelton to adjourn the meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed by nay? The ayes have it. We stand adjourned at 8:22 p.m.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Anna, Tina, thank you.
Thank you, Luis.